behind. Check the radio, big crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet. Not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up.
Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our show here tonight here for BackFire Sim Racing. I do want to say apologize in advance already for those that are just tuning in for the first time or had all of a sudden see our stream completely went blank there for a minute. We had some problems on our own end because the glitch graphic gremlin said no, we do not want you to do YouTube and Facebook. You can do that later. So we're just going to Facebook. That's what we know, that's what we trust in. So I am sorry again to those at home that were expecting us to do YouTube and Facebook, but you can blame Streamlabs for that as well, and the glitch graphic gremlins. But anyway, let's get down to business. Welcome to the show and welcome back to the ending here. As said before, we had a doubleheader here tonight. BackFire Sim Racing is here live with us tonight, and this is their Friends and Family 200. Here is our track tech talk of the evening. Very interesting, the stats here. Everything seems to be about the same. Everything's right where it needs to be, as they are here from live Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Here we'll see how much of that comes into play and how much effect that will take up on the drivers here tonight. But I guarantee you that this will definitely be one thing they will have to really hit up and try to run for tonight, is the turns, the corners, and momentum. As the lineup begins here, let's go ahead and show you our field of drivers here tonight. Start them on the pole. Christopher Lawrence there in the 20 machine is outside. That'll be the 9 of TJ Roberts. Row number 2, it's going to be Jeremy Richmond in the 98 is outside. The closer, Dylan Hervat in the 16. Row 3, it'll be Harold Bud Barnes there in the 69 is outside. It's the 28 of Finn Robinson. Row 4, the 24, Cody Saucier in is outside. Brock Savati in the 97. Row 5, Angel Santiago in the 90 is outside. The 7 of John S. Boado Jr. Next rows on back will be row 6, James Jones in the 55 is outside. 27 of Brandon Mascarella. Row 7, the 42 of Bryce Kovler is outside. The 60 of Zachary Woods. Next row's on back. Couldn't quite catch everyone we were doing there. Looks like Joey Wright there, and it is outside Jacob Turvin. Harry Yogar in the 58 is outside. It'll be Jason Arable. For those at home that are just tuning in for the first time, by the way, we're usually not this cluttered and messed up. I can tell you that right now. Go back and watch the other streams if you don't believe me. Alright, next row's on back. Noah Owens there, and it is outside Ryan Sizemore. Terry R. Mariano, as well as John Buwalda. Then of course you got David Hall there in the 21, and then Jordan Stencil in the 64, Chris Hupka in the 5, 30 of Dustin Rouse, and Brian Fletcher in the 29 to round out your field here tonight. As our drivers line up in a position, jockey them on around here. Get set for tonight's action. This is the Family and Friends 200 live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to go racing this time by. This is just the start. This is the prelude, if you will, to all the action, all the mayhem that will come here soon enough. These drivers are locked, ready, and ready to go here for tonight's action here as we set the pace, set the tone to start the season off. You know how we do it here around here. We gotta put the pedal to the metal. It's time to go racing. Here we go. Family and Friends 200 Las Vegas is underway here as they back them on around, down, around, out of turn 1, down turn 2 here. TJ Roberts already on the 8 side there, moves his chains on by as he's got the 9 there, or the 20, excuse me, of Christopher Lawrence now moving in the inside, trying to keep him away from that spot. Field on around right now as they back him by here. Dylan the closer of Baden already off to a hot start. We're used to seeing him usually get into that zone already. He's already on a hot spot here, trying to find some momentum there in the middle corner. Maybe thinking a 3 wide salute is not initiated just yet, but he sees the opening. He's got a pretty good line there if he wants to take it. It looks like he's going to push a little bit more there as we got trouble there. Yeah, turn 2. Big trouble there, and we got driver spun on around there. There's problems there going down. That's Zachary Woods. Trouble in turn 2 there for him. Unfortunately, nowhere to go there for Mr. Woods, and you saw some of the other drivers are getting caught up on that one as well. Unfortunately, that set them back a little bit. Right now, the battle is still up front here. TJ Roberts in that 9 and Christopher L. Lawrence right now. We know old Double L Lawrence. We know him too awful on the show before. He was one of the very first drivers we ever commentated for on our broadcast. It's great to see him back out there and great to see him back on the field. Noah Owens, though, right now having some troubles here. He's come to a sudden halt and crashed up into the pit road. He is now put it into pit lane for now. Right down the field, our UK driver, all the way from England, the Finn Robinson in the 28 machine, starting to build some momentum up. Looks like he's got something going here, working in. Christine Roos has joined us in. Evening, gents. Wish I could be racing tonight, but hopefully we'll be there for the rest of the season. Christian Roos, good to have you on board, bud. Hope to see you there on the track soon enough. As they move it down out of turn 4, we got big problems there right behind him. Oh! Christopher L. Lawrence there, and the 24 of Corey Saucier gets into trouble. Ow! Color flags out, and now he's upside down. Up, crash, flip, back, straight. Whoa! Christopher Lawrence goes for a ride and a half as the caution comes out. Oh my! Can you say ouch? Oh my! Huge lick and a half there, unfortunately for the drivers, comes to a sudden standstill and sudden halt here for them. Folks, we're going to have to go and kick it over to the PTM Instant Replay and find out what happened here. That was a hard lick to say the least there. Serious crash and a half here. It's hard to say where everything went wrong, but we're going to find out here now on the show. Here is the PTM Instant Replay in all of its glory here, moving them down around out of turn 3. Let's see if we can figure out. Looks like Lawrence just got right into the wall protection there, had nowhere to go, and then Saucier just gets sent right into the grassy fields, opens up his own lawn care service, and then, well, this happens. Crashed him in hard as can be, and you can see Lawrence just went for a ride and a half there, had nowhere to go. Car comes to a sudden standstill and a sudden halt. He'll have to get that thing repaired up and back out on the attack here. Tough break there for him, as now the field will work him back in, unfortunately. Got some old faces in the house, some familiar faces, and we're going to go ahead and talk to those familiar faces here right now. We'll head them on down and head them on by. See how everyone's doing out here and how everyone's been hanging in there. All right, now joining me down here in the booth here, this is Dylan, the closer Hervatin in the 16 machine. And Dylan, right now, currently, another league and another series, man. Seems like you're always on the run.
Oh, I'm always everywhere, man. I tell you what.
Well, sure there. Now, I'm going to ask you real quick, what's the key strategy that's going to go in for you here tonight when you're going to face off here on this track in Las Vegas? We know you can run some hard races here, judging by your stuff and flyby.
Well, it's all going to be about the tire saving, especially down at turn number 1. You got those bumps down in turn 1, and you know, they're kind of a problem. They can make you drift up the racetrack and make you scrub off a little bit of your tires. So I think with these guys, it's going to be just who can save the best tires, and you know, I'm trying to do that. We're trying to be consistent with the speed as well, and so far it's working out for us. So
for sure there. Well, nevertheless, man, wish nothing but the best of luck, and we will talk with you guys later on, hopefully.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
Absolutely. Dylan, the closer, Hervat, taking the time to talk with us here right now as we're jumping around on the radio, on the mics here, having to still get around the old glitch graphic gremlins because unfortunately they decided to come at me at the wrong time, and this was definitely not the time to do it. But that's all right. There's one thing we've learned around here is how to fight back when we need to there. And I do have to apologize real quick. It wasn't Christopher Lawrence there in the 9. It was actually TJ Roberts. So TJ, if you're watching this back, bud, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to confuse you for Lawrence. It's just Lawrence. I'm so used to seeing him in the 9 machine. So I do apologize up front. And speaking of him right now, let's go ahead and bring him on in right now for a little talk. Christopher, do you have the copy, bud?
I have a copy.
Hey, man, right now, after that little run around you had there with TJ Roberts, off to a strong start in a hot heat battle there. What's going through your mind there in that U.S. Army number 20 machine?
You know, we're just trying to get the tires warm and stay low today. Run that low line and, you know, force them to pass us up high, and hopefully that works out for us today.
For sure there. Was there anything that you had in mind going into tonight, really, even though it's kind of the family and friends kind of racing? Was anything special you had, really, you were going to put up against these guys?
You know, today was just about getting together, having a fun, clean race, and learning to drive with these guys to get ready for our season. You know, sponsored by Jack Dow Motorsports coming up here, BackFire Sim Racing League. So that was just having fun today.
For sure there. Well, Christopher, we do appreciate you having us come on out and see these guys in action so far. We like it what we see. Let's hopefully we can get things going a little bit better here tonight.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Christopher L. Lawrence there in that 20 machine. I want to say the 9. It's not anything like that we're talking about. It's not the 9, though. It's 20. It's so confusing, man. I want to say the 9. Thanks again, everyone that's tuned on in with us here. And again, thank you thank you guys for at least helping us out with the apologies here. William McDaniel joins us in. He's asking what kind of cars are they racing here today? Well, my friend, they are racing the Cup cars. This is the Cup Series that you see on your screen right now. And this, of course, is the Las Vegas the Family and Friends 200 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway here in Las Vegas, Nevada. As we are able to load them in and ready to fight them back on by here. Drivers are getting situated through for the next leg of this race here. Early troubles there for TJ Roberts. Hard battles between him and Christopher Lawrence. Ends up into the wall and then sends him for the ride of his life. Gets him a little bit of troubles there. Evan James joins us in. Good luck, JDM. I wish I could be there tonight. Great to have you on board here, though, sir. I know you're rooting him on quite a well here. Hunter Oliver rooting on for the number 97 tonight. Great to have you on board, sir, and great to have all you folks on by. The 97 there, of course, is Brock Savati. I hope I said that name right. If I did not, let me know in the comments. As the field works them in right now, back them on by here. And don't worry, folks, we will have this race in all of its entirety up on YouTube. Don't worry, you won't go missing it out. We'll even have a custom thumbnail up for it later on, but right now, we are on the Facebook end of Spectrum here as we get things fixed on in. We are ready to go back to green flag racing. Here we go. Hervat and Lawrence right out of the gate, just close in on each other, getting a little bit of contact going there. Both drivers seem okay, though. They run him into their line here. The closer now closing in on the inside zone. Hervat Lawrence tries to hold him off. Here comes the old closer himself now down the inside. Smithfield 16 machine trying to put the boot up to Lawrence there as they fight him on around. Right behind him, though, you got Finn Robinson and Brock Savati right now, right in a hot pursuit and a hot battle here for this one. Down to the inside zone, around out of turn 1, back down into turn 2 here. Yet again, this could be a 3-wide salute initiating here soon, but Finn decides to opt out of it. Big battle right behind him here. You can see a little bit of movement there from Hervat trying to get lined back up for the pass. That's one thing about Las Vegas that can be tricky, is making clear-cut passes, especially when the rear end gets right into the front zone there. You can see the huge battles coming between these guys. Nowhere to go and nowhere to be. You can see the onboard camera here of Angel Santiago. Then where these guys are having to try to hold their line onto and try to stay in this one. Field works them on by right now. Still everyone in a hot pursuit and a heated battle here between these guys and gals. And right now there is nowhere to go in mistake zone. You better be making those runs tight and making them good here if you want to get a good one on them. The 97 machine there, Brock Salviati moves into the inside zone now, starting to challenge up the leaders. Maybe looking to eye up some positions here. He's got Christopher Lawrence right to his inside now, trying to hold him in. Ooh, a little bit of a bump there from the closer. Her bad now to turn 2, though, sends him for a little bit upwards. Moving the field on back right now. That 90 machine still now closing in as he's just loving every minute of these guys battling him in as well as they can here. Tracy Phillips Kinson has joined us, and he's rooting out for the 98 tonight. Great to have you on board, sir. Back him on around here, the inside zone, and the 97 of Brock Salvati. I'm going to say his name wrong all night, I swear. Having a little bit of internet trouble there. You can see a little bit of blinking on his end, kind of setting him back up a little bit. As we look back into the field a little bit, though, here's some new drivers we haven't seen here before. I'm going to say his name so wrong. Brandon Mascarella. You can correct me in the chat later, guys. And then James Jones there battling it in there with Jeremy Richmond. Richmond right now in the 98 and that 55 there. James Jones side by side here for the battle for 6, I should say. And a heated one, I must add, between these drivers here. Neither one giving an inch and neither one giving a chance up to that. Both drivers eyeing that spot up, eyeing their area of play, and now they're just continuing to fight their way into that zone and fight their way on top of everything else. Now back him in the corner zone yet again. Now looks like Brandon Mascarella right now just trying to hold him off, trying to stay in that zone to get back up to Jeremy Richmond, who holds the 7th place spot right now. Not a lot of breathing room for mistakes here, not a lot of room for error, of course, and so far the family and friends for 200 right now starting to really showcase some racing, and you can see a little bit of problems there out of turn 1 and 2. Whoa! Oh no, you saw them get a little too hard out of turn 1 and get swinged in there and kind of getting a little bumped and spun by. And unfortunately nowhere to go for either driver. The caution comes out. Ryan Sizemore, whoa! I'm not sure if that was needed or it was just, frankly, just saying like, hey, you got me. Oh, that was certainly a little run and a half there and a battle back. There's damage up on Sizemore. And Mascarella right now also some serious damage up on that machine there. That will set them back a little bit. We're going to the PTM instant replay to find out what happened here. Let's go ahead and take it on down. Producers, you know what to do. Do your thing. Here it is, the PTM instant replay in all of its glory. You can see what happened right there. The 23 getting a little bit too hard into the 27 and set them both back down for a ride there. Unfortunately setting them back a little bit and pacing a time zone here, which unfortunately kind of screwed up the whole run that they had going there for themselves and set them back a little bit in their area of play. Here's the replay from a different angle here. There's a Sizemore right here. You can see what happened. Comes in that corner. And it looks like maybe just a little bit too low, and both drivers just kind of drifted down a little bit and sent both drivers for the ride. Nowhere to go on that one except straight down on the bottom. So Field will get him back around here. Field will rock him on by yet again here. And that will situate our drivers back up into position, and hopefully we'll get things figured on in here. Well, we've got a lot of new drivers in the house and a lot of new folks that we've never seen before. So, how about we go ahead and have a little chit chat with them here from CRC Motorsports. This is Cody Saucier and Corey Saucier. Corey, I hope I'm saying your last name right now, bud.
You got it, Chris.
Perfect, man. Hey, Ren, right now, currently working through the field and working through the track. You had that little problem there in that incident on the first caution, but now it seems like you're starting to dial it in a little bit. What's been the kicker for you here?
Yeah, just got to stay patient. It's a long race. Can't get too upset over being involved in an early wreck. That's what the one fast repair is for. So just got to bide my time, work my way back up, and race everybody smart.
Absolutely there, man. Anything you want to say to your friends and family before you get back up on the run for this one?
No, I hope everybody enjoys. This is a good group of guys, and hope we can put on a good show for everybody.
Absolutely. So far, it's been pretty good. Some great racing so far. Hopefully, it'll continue to be that way. Good luck, and we'll see you later, man.
Thank you, sir.
Corey Saucier here from CRC Motorsports here, taking the time to talk with us as we load them back in, ready to fight them on down here. A lot of drivers still looking to gain some ground and gain some momentum here. There's a lot of new drivers here, folks, we have not ever heard from or talked to before. So, again, if we butcher their last name or butcher their name, let us know, and I promise you we will do our darndest to make sure that they get fixed. I will admit up front, I am bad with names, and it's never going to change for me. I'm sorry, guys. Well, right now, currently, a lot of drivers kind of figuring on in a little bit here, kind of working them on by. Let's go ahead and talk with Angel Santiago, and I hope I'm saying your last name right there, bud.
Yeah, you got it right.
Awesome. Hey, man, right now, currently, the 90 machine looking pretty strong. Up in the second spot now after that caution. What's been kind of going through your mind right now in that 90 car?
Well, mainly depending on how many cars stayed out here. Hopefully, we're by the guys who got fresh tires. Kind of keep the race going nice and smooth as it has been so far.
For sure there. Anything you want to say to the friends and family out there before you head back out on the track?
Anything, I appreciate everybody out there watching. Hopefully we can put on a good show for everybody.
So far, so good. Car looks pretty sweet out there, man. Good luck, and great to have you on the show.
Yeah, man, you as well.
Absolutely. Angel Santiago making his debut here on PTM Racing TV. A lot of guys making their debut out here tonight, as we'll now double file them up into the next restart zone here, folks. We'd like to remind you all here, from all of us here, that tonight's Friends and Family 200 has been brought to you in part by Kyle Sykes Designs, Grid Finder, AJ's Hotspot, Splash and Go Graphics, Blackgate Security Agency, Simsnap.com, iRacing Photography, Butt Kicker, feel what you've been missing, Jack Dowell Motorsports. We want to say thank you again to those guys for helping bringing this show alive here for the Friends and Family 200, and also to you guys and gals watching at home. Thank you so much for tuning on in. We hope you're enjoying the show so far. It's a little chaotic to start. I know we had the glitch graphic gremlins come in and fight us a little bit, but there's one thing I was taught, is how to fight them off when we need to, and we definitely figured that out. So it's great to see these guys out and about, ready to go here as they work them on down around out of turn 4. We will line the drivers back up into positions and get things figured on in once again. Still a lot of runs left here for Christopher Double L Lawrence there in that 20 U.S. Army machine. Will the Brat find a way, get his way back into the tap? We're going to find out here. He is going to move it in down around the front straightaway here. Green flag flies. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're back underway, Grayson. Still got a lot of laps to go and not a lot of time to be messing up around here. They will field them on around here, fight them back on by yet again here. Almost a 3-wide salute initiates there as Corey Saucier moving to the inside, down the outside, back him on down the back straightaway, charges in. Here comes the Colder Dylan Hervatin now wheeling and dealing, moving the chains up into position here. These guys throwing the haymakers early. Moving them back on by here, down on that front straightaway here. Some solid runs and a half here between them and the 55 of James Jones, giving it all he's got and what it's worth here. Trying to lay into the hardwood, trying to lay into the momentum as a 3-wide salute almost initiates there out of turn 2. That goes between Finn Robinson, Brock Savalti, and then of course Angel Santiago kind of in the hunt there. Right back on around. Saucier also kind of leaning towards that run, trying to build up momentum. You can see it's kind of like some Daytona Talladega racing where you see them tight and compact, trying to move around one another. The only difference is that the speed that they carry here in Las Vegas can really not match that, but it definitely can match the power and momentum that comes from the runs here as Dylan the Closer Hervatin takes the race lead away. Christopher Double L Lawrence, that U.S. Army number 20 machine does not like too much of that. You know what he'll do. He'll come on by down around yet again, trying to work the chains on by. We're on board with him. You hear right there actually out of turn 2. If you listen very carefully, you can hear those tires actually screeching a little bit. That's not good when you're a driver in the car. That means if you hear that too often than not, you're going to have a lot more problems later on, because that means the tires are starting to give way and they're starting to burn up. Less rubber you have on that tire, the more troubles you have, like that right there, Brock Savalti. Savalti there in the infield. He opens up his own lawn care service, managing to bring it by here. Nice save there, but holy smokes. Saved it there, but does he have time to get it back underway there? He lost a lot of ground and time there just from that little bump and run there he had there, and now he's going to try to get it situated through it once again. Whoa, my folks, some hard racing from these drivers and some serious battling and a half here. Hard to tell you really what's going to go down right now and who's going to be able to outwit the other here, but they move them down and moving the chains on by out of turn 2. Ben Robinson just doing everything he can right now. Christopher Double L Lawrence right now falling back from our only fellow Englishman, Ben Robinson here. Of course, we do have another Englishman that's been joining us in the comments section that will be running us with here soon enough, which can't wait to catch you there. Tom Davidson joins us in. He's asked, how do we get involved? Well, we'll let Backfire know that you guys said something there. I'm pretty sure they'll come back and watch the chat later. So I do appreciate you tuning on in, though. We'll see if maybe we can get you hooked up with these guys. John Bawalda in that 47 machine, moving the chains on in right now. Chris Hupka in the 5. He's a hard charger and a half right now in that Kellogg's number 5 Chevrolet, moving the chains on in. He's currently up 14 spots where he was at. Started from the outhouse, starting to move his way into the White House. We're running on back on in here, that 47 there, John Bualda right now. I hope I'm saying his last name right. Trying to hang in there, trying to give himself a little bit of a run here as that 5 of Chris Hupka does everything he can to hang him on and try to close in. A little bit of a bump, a little bit of a rub there from Hupka there, trying to build momentum and power by the Horners there. If you're wondering why they're bumping and rubbing a little bit, I'll tell you all about it here in a minute. But Bryce Kobler right now in that 42. And the outside, inside of him is the 58 of Harry Vuger. I hope I'm saying his last name right, but right now trying to hold him off, trying to fay him into position here as the 47 of John Bualdo running out of time and lost all his ground there from Hupka. Serious runs and a half here as you get a glimpse from the blimp cam here. You can see all the drivers in all their glory here doing what they can to try to hold them off, trying to stabilize position, staying side by side there, running them in as hard as they can here down out of turn 4. That's the beauty of this track here. This G-shaped style track can really lay into some serious runs and momentum. But it's kind of a trial style as well, where you still have to find some cornering off on that front straightaway and try to line up in the back. And right now, currently, as you see them fighting in, leading them way into the zone. Hard runs here into a 3-wide salute there on the back straightaway. Here we go yet again. Laying into the momentum, laying into the power. These guys giving it all they've got, trying to hang them on by and trying to steal this one in. Serious runs and a half here from the drivers. Leads them into position and into the run. Serious momentum continued in the corner off. No one giving an inch here. Still 3 wide down on the front stretch. Whoa, a little bit of a run there and bump there from the 64 machine now. Sends him back down a little bit there. Sends him way into the field there. You got the 9 there, Jacob Turvin right now kind of fighting his way on in, trying to hold him off by the 64 machine of Jordan Stencil. Currently is a lap down at the moment, but he's racing these guys pretty hard as another 3-wide salute initiates. And right behind him there you see the 68 machine as well, now starting to hold some momentum in there as well. Trying desperately not to fall back any more laps in that one right now. Currently Zachary Woods in that 60 after the troubles he had earlier. Falling back a lot here, falling back quite a bit as well. There's some serious runs and a half from these guys and serious momentum key positions being fielded in. Joey right there in the 8 machine, in the 8 Castrol, or excuse me, the Crispy Donuts number 8 machine, Krispy Kreme Donuts machine, starting to move it in, trying to put the Mustang to work and try to get some power under that hood there. So far it's kind of early, but he's just doing what he can. Oh! See a little bit of damage there, and you got bigger problems right up front there. Jacob Turvin right behind there of Harry Buger. Unfortunately gets right up into the wall protection there, had nowhere to go and got out of it. He manages to swing him on by and stay stabilized here. As he's got, looks like Harold Bud Barnes there, the second in the 68 machine now is outside line. Build him on and by, excuse me, the 69, not 68. Why do I always keep getting numbers wrong in these things? Right back down on the front straightaway here, down out of turn 1, down in turn 2 here. Hard runs in a battle here to say the least. Drivers starting to situate themselves out, starting to go single file starting here. They will start to lower the gap and lower the zones in. Now they're going to have to really rely on that tire pressure to really help them out and save them here. In the chat right now, Mike Gangi, I hope I said your name right back. Gagny. Awesome call on the race, and also let's go number 24. Mike, great to have you on board, and appreciate the kind words, sir. Thank you. As they move the field on down around, here we go now for the race lead. Here is the battle for the lead between the drivers here. This is Dylan the Closer Herbaden and Finn Robinson. The only Englishman here in the field right now, starting to show the Americans and some of our Canadian friends who is up and what's going down right now. The Englishmen showing some strong race, strong heart in that 28 machine. This is interesting. We don't have too many of the European drivers coming around here, so it's great to see some new faces around here in the house. And he's holding off Dylan the Closer Herbaden, you see on your screen right now, by a nice little margin and a half. Got him by about 0.2 of a second here. We'll see if he's able to hold that off for later, though, as Christopher L. Lawrence is always in the background waiting, and so is Brock Salvati on his hunt and on the zone. Let's go on board here with him and see how his car is holding up in the turns. Take a listen here as we come down the back straightaway. Listen to the turns, and I want you to take a quick listen on how hard those tires are going in. Listen to that little screech. You hear that little gust there, little wind current? That's actually the tires screeching up down on the track there. They're trying to line back up out of that exit. Now, why am I bringing that up again? Well, again, remember what the driver said earlier. They're trying to stabilize the car and try to keep the tires from burning up too much. If they get them too burnt in, that can be dangerous for them. That can be very hard on their tires and hard on their car. And if that happens, they've got more problems than it's worth here tonight. But it seems as though the drivers are finally kind of starting to lay off on their momentum and on their runs and starting to get more situated through here. Getting things taken care of here, of course, as we line back in their position here. Just want to remind you folks at home, if you were confused on why the YouTube stream is not up, well, unfortunately, the way things work on our end, we can't stream to both because they kind of hid it behind some things, and also the Glitch Graphic Gremlins decided to show their ugly mug. And you see a little bit back behind there. Looks like a little bit of a run there for the right back behind him there. Wasn't sure who that was exactly, but you saw one of them go spinning out of control there. And Dylan the Closer Herbaden, also one of them as well there. He got loosey-goosey on the front straightaway, which opens the door up for the 9 of TJ Roberts to try to get his lap back. After the early troubles there and early problems there right now, starting to move the chains on in, starting to put the power in there. You can look to the left side of your screen there. You can see him really working that wheel as he just starts to get more and more down into the track and more into the zone. That is how they set that car up, and that's how they get things figured in. When you're inside that car, that's what it looks like when you're running. You're just going sideways, long ways, slant ways, and each way to Sunday. It's crazy in there, man. I know what it's like in those Cup cars. Angel Santiago right now trying to hold off Corey Saucier in that 24 machine. Corey making his PTM Racing TV debut as well, as much as Angel Santiago right now trying to hold him off, trying to stay in that zone here, of course, with some runs and a half coming his way, though. It's hard to tell where he'll come next and where he'll fight in next as you go on board here with him. Strong runs and a half here. Strong battles all the way through here as the field's still running him on in, running him on by here, and giving it everything they can. But at the moment, they're all chasing down Finn Robinson here. But don't be too alarmed here, because there is still a lot of laps here to go, and that means a lot here on PTM Racing TV. We all know that all too well. That 5 there, Chris Hupka right now, and that Kellogg's number 5 machine Chevrolet. solid looking car and solid looking run, and you can see that even with the damage on that front end, he still finds a way to make the move the chains on in. That takes a lot of commitment and dedication to get that car situated through like that and really run their line in. And now it looks like the 60 machine there of Zachary Woods going to the inside here. This is Jacob Turvin, excuse me. On his outside line there, rocking the Chase Elliott number 9 Auto Parts machine. And we'll see that Napa Auto Parts number 9 there shortly on Daytona Speed Week when the time comes. But right now, he's rocking the old iRacing scheme here on the internet, on the seam here, and that's looking pretty solid and a half to say the least. Still not even 1/3 of the way here, and these guys just trying to lay into what they can, trying to set them paces and set the momentum down. We'll have to see how long that really sets them up for later on. Right now, as you can see, Christopher L. Lawrence now moving the chains on by, moves it into the inside zone, gets right past around that 20 that you see there, the 9 at TJ Roberts. I want to say he's in the 9, man. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to do it on purpose, guys, I swear, but like, when we first met him, he always drove the 9, and that was like stuck in my brain, so trying to remember that he's not in the 9 anymore is like trying to tell me not how to remember how to ride a bike. It's like as soon as I get back on it, I'm going to know how to ride it. Well, nevertheless, here down the front straightaway here, side by side, they take it here. The 97 Brock Savalti doing everything he can right now to hold him on by, trying to stay in it. Jeremy Richmond in that 98 machine going outside, looking in, moves the chains on by, starting to file him away and starting to run him in hard. Can't quite get the momentum his way and can't quite push it in the way he wants it to. Solid racing and solid runs here for these drivers here. Everyone in a hot pursuit for this one. As we will close in on our races and on our zones here, this is of course been a little bit of a special event that we were asked to come and watch and come and take on. And you know, there's one thing we love to do around here. It's have a little fun and see some new drivers, and we always love seeing the new guys and giving them a showcase and giving them onto the show for once. So it's great to finally be able to do all that and be able to come out here and showcase some fresh blood, some new meat, if you will. So as we go through the field right now, currently Corey Saucier moving to the inside zone around TJ Roberts now, trying to fight his way on by and give himself a run and a half here. You can see them closing in on the gap zone. Chris Hubka a little bit behind by about a second and a half. He's starting to close in on that gap. You can see him on the bottom right of your screen there, coming down out of turn 2. That is Corey Saucier right now having to deal with right behind him there, Brandon Mascaralla. And after his little skirmish he had earlier, trying to find some way to get some momentum back on by and trying to get something going for himself, but he slowed up quite a bit. Angel Santiago goes into pit road. Looks like the tires finally started to catch up to him and take him on in. You gotta wonder how long that will take away from these guys and where he'll come at for later. Hard to say, but right now Dylan the Closer of Aden still eyeing the race lead. Finn Robinson has that lead as we get ready to take this one to the next level and get things figured on in. Currently, still a lot of time and ground here to go for the family and for the Friends and Family 200. Don't go anywhere, folks. When we return, we will see the rest of these drivers get back at it and try to lay them into the momentum. Who will be the first winner here in the BackFire Sim Racing Series? We'll find out when we return. Well, tonight's race is brought to you in part by Kyle Sykes Designs, by Grid Finder, by AJ's Hotspot, by Splash and Go Graphics, by Blackgate Security Agency, by SimSnap.com, by The Butt Kicker, and by Jack Dowell Motorsports. Thank you again. BackFire Sim Racing would like to thank them all again for their help and support to get the show on the road and get things figured on in. Yeah, we do appreciate them also here on PTM Racing TV to give these guys a chance and help them do something that no one else can really get to see them around here anymore, and that's to have a good show and have a good racing series out there. And it's great to be here live with you folks here, not only in the chat on Facebook, and if you're watching this later on YouTube, thanks again for tuning on in, and thanks for coming on out, guys. We do appreciate you as always. Seen a lot of new names, a lot of new faces in here, so it's great to see that. If you guys are new, though, be sure to like and follow us up here on Facebook, and then head over to our YouTube and subscribe there, where we will have this race in its entirety. Don't worry, it will not have any more glitch graphic gremlins running around. It will be in its entirety, all set up in that, like now. Field him on by right now, John Buwalda. In the 47 right now, the outside makes his move around. Zachary Woods. Zachary just getting lapped back more and more here. He's having a hard time getting that car fixed in. Drivers starting to way back and lower on in. They're just trying to do their own thing, kind of setting up for their positions. Usually when we talk about Las Vegas Motor Speedway, we're talking about side-by-side hard racing, hard battles, and occasionally when the pit road strategy comes into play, that'll be where everything kind of comes in for the rest. But right now, it's been kind of a little bit of a little slower note. These guys have been kind of fighting their cars off and trying to fight the positions in, and they've been doing a good job of it. But I'm kind of surprised right now. I would have thought we would have seen a lot more heated battles and a lot more hot racing out there. But no, not right now. Actually, it's kind of tamed in a little bit. As you see Joey right there in the 8, kind of working on the outside line. The 58 there of Harry Buger, trying to move the chains on by, trying to move him on around, trying to stay in his zone, give himself a bit of a shot here. Taking it up on the outside line, goes right, and that opens the door up there for the 58 machine. That will give him back his spot, give him a chance to fight in here with the old 47 machine now, running him on by now, and you can see John Buwalda just opened the door up and let him in. Like a thief in the night, he snuck by and took away that position, and will move the chains. Brock Savalti currently third right now. Started in the 8th spot. Not too much of a hard charger right now compared to some other drivers out there, but still nonetheless really working his way in and starting to do his own thing. Jacob Turvin right now, currently the guy everyone's trying to haste after, and right now we got some problems there for Brock Savalti. He has come to a sudden halt and a crash on the inside zone here. Not sure what happened here. We're going to the PTM Instant Replay to find out more about this one. Here's the PTM Instant Replay in all of its glory. Let's find out what happened here. He comes on down around the front straightaway. Whoa! You see the car actually, it got a little bit sideways there as he was going in. He was trying to bring it back up, and it looks like maybe it looks like the suspension just kind of caught on there and it just gripped, but it gripped in the wrong way. And it set him back completely here. Tough break there for him. So now the field, we're working back here in their zones and in their run right now currently. Still everybody doing what they can, try to hold them off, trying to stay in that zone, trying to fight their way on by here. John S. Buwalda has now taken over for the 2nd spot. He's in the number 7 tonight, and I believe we already had a Buwalda in there. I believe we got a family racing trios here tonight. Yeah, we do. John S. Buwalda and then Junior, and then you got, looks like Senior in the 47. So to not add confusion there, that is our lineup there of guys tonight. Filing them back on in, starting to file them on down here. Still a lot of drivers coming in, still trying to see the moment, seek in if they can. Harold Bud Barnes, the 2nd. And that 69 knows that all too well here. We're going on board here with him. You can just feel the power and all that horsepower and momentum, but not so much there for the 9 of TJ Roberts, coming to another spin around on the back straightaway. The Goodwrench Service Plus, number 9, still having so much troubles there tonight. He had a strong start, but as of late, the car has just not been able to get things fixed in the way I believe he wants it to and the way he needs it to. And it's definitely shown here. Unfortunately, a tough break there for him, though. Well, Christopher L. Lawrence right now rocking and socking him way in there. Jeremy Richmond here currently finding him on in here with him as well. Just kind of eyeing his spot up and trying to eye his area in. field works back around to the back straightaway here. Everyone giving it all they've got, trying to stay in that zone. Jacob Turvin, excuse me, in the 9 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet currently. My opinion right now, he's just kind of staying in his own comfort zone, just kind of staying away from problems area. But Joey right there in the number 8 now starting to move the chains on in. Maybe it looks like he's going to try and get something going for himself in the Krispy Kreme Donuts Ford Mustang. Moves to the inside, starting to run him on by here, giving himself a little bit of a run, a little bit more power under the hood. Starts to make the chains work to his advantage here, and moving him on around yet again. So as the drivers currently all still wheeling them on around, starting to fight them way in the end zone, you can see the field right now kind of separated out. This is the camera here focused on John Buwalda, senior, if you will. Meanwhile, old junior is about, I would say about 10 seconds away from him. A good chunk and a half away from the field right now. And Finn Robinson still with the race lead here, but Chris Hupke in that 5 machine now starting to fight his way back in, trying to get his lap back. Lost that there during the little bit of runs arounds they had going here. Moves the inside, takes it away. Pit strategy definitely playing a big factor into this one right now for the drivers and starting to really challenge them on in. It's kind of crazy really seeing pit strategy be a huge deal and a big thing here, but right now that's definitely what's been the case here. As you now situate them on in, I think it's better time than anything to show you guys the pit strategy right now for our drivers. As Buwalda Jr. goes into pit road now, so he will have that changed up here in a minute. But Robinson currently and him were side by side with that, and Turvin was in that area as well. But Lawrence deciding to go in when he needed to and takes over that position. Now looking to take over the race lead, and he is successful. That will now set him up for the long, hard haul here. He went in at a certain time, and this is pit strategy at its finest. You can see the length in between of how far they were off from one another and where they were wanting to go. Yeah, that's definitely been the big difference here tonight for these drivers so far as you line them up back in their zones. So as they work them back around on the front straightaway here, you can see the 98 machine there going at it here with the 20 of Christopher L. Lawrence. Jeremy Richmond just kind of playing into the crowd here, playing onto his own zone here, maybe just trying to see if maybe he can get something going for the later half, but car hasn't really been running as hard as he wants it to yet, and you can tell it, but he's still fighting out there, and that's the key, is you don't quit, you keep on fighting. Harry Buger in that 58 machine currently, one of the lone Canadians out here tonight, the other being Jordan Stencil. We haven't talked much about him. We'll talk about more about him later on as we go through, but right now, Buger right now has been counting on the guy that's been running him in, running him hard. He's currently a hard charger here, up 11 spots from where he was at earlier, so he started 17th. He's currently in the 6th spot. Trying to field it in, give himself a little bit of a run here and a little bit of time zone in there. Talk about Jordan Stencil. Well, he is in that 64 machine. He's actually right to the outside of him coming on by, so the lone Canadians having a little bit of fun out there, kind of moving him on by, giving himself a little bit of a run and a half here. Solid racing on their end so far. Solid battles all the way through here as they continue to corner off into their area, into the zone now. Back on by out of a turn 2. And you can see the runs are really starting to pick up here for that 20. Looks like for the 28 machine there. That being Finn Robinson after being passed on by. Now trying to close back in on Dylan the Closer, Hervaden, and Lawrence. And now as we look at the pit strategy yet again here, you can see the difference in shape and size here on these drivers and what they've come up with. Hervaden actually just takes the race lead away from Lawrence. But if you look at how far each one is from one another, Hervaden's got a fresher set of tires. And the fact that Robinson right now just came out from where he did, he's obviously aiming for the long haul. And that might work to his advantage here, but we'll see. As Dylan the Closer, Hervaden right now is your new leader. Moving him on by, giving himself a little bit of a solid run and a half here, staying ahead of the charge, staying ahead of the zone here, moving him back, but Christopher L. Lawrence doesn't take too kindly to that, of course. The U.S. Army number 20 Chevrolet gonna try to hang him on, trying to keep up to that zone here and see if he's got something here for him. Jason Arable, we have a little bit of a new driver to the series and show here tonight. We haven't seen him before, so let's give him a little bit of fame here and get him on board. Moving down the back straightaway, you can see the power and momentum is coming from that 86 Exalta Chevrolet. Currently up 9 spots before he started. Started 18th, currently in the 9th area. Corey Saucier had I would say he's probably had more of a roller coaster ride than anybody tonight. Started strong, but all of a sudden got a little tagged in and then got sent back. Now all of a sudden works his way back into the zone, into the run. And now he's fighting back for everything he's got, trying to challenge them in and trying to stay in that zone. As he moves to the inside there, you can see the 90 there was moving to the outside zone, trying to stay out of his way and stay out of problem territory there. Good racing and sportsmanship on his end there for Angel Santiago. There's just one downside though. In fact, he just lost his 4th place spot, moves back behind into the 5th here. And the 69 machine there, Bud moving in there. Once again, Harold Bud Barnes. Just kind of doing his own thing, kind of laying into it. I believe he just wants to be called Bud, so we'll leave it at that. But nevertheless, right now, still some hot battles and solid racing here for these drivers. John Espualda, old junior here, now going to move it through and starting to run him on hard as he can here. Looking to pass up there, the 20 there of Christopher L. Lawrence, as Lawrence has to go to work here with the 98 right beside him. Jeremy Richmond doing everything he can to kind of stay in that zone, staying in that position here and give him what it's worth. And these guys absolutely laying into it, just laying on one another. Laps ticking away here as we have now approached and finally hit the halfway point into this one. Back by around out of turn 2 here down the back straightaway here. Field works in pretty hard, solid connections to the track. As you see the 20 there, Christopher Lawrence just kind of moving the chains in further and further there. A little bit of trouble out of turn 4 though for Jeremy Richmond. Richmond kind of got caught up in that zone, and that's one thing we haven't talked about all day long is the turns themselves. They can be kind of tricky, and I'll tell you more about it here in a minute as you get this little battle here from David Hall, who just passed up Jeremy Richmond there for the 16th spot. The National Guard 21 Chevrolet now working him on in, starting to field him on by here. Solid runs and a half here on his end. Doing what he can right now to try to stay into the zone and try to stay out of trouble. These tires just burning up left and right though. Cars falling back further and further, and Joey Wright, excuse me. There's going to be another one of those that gets right up under the wall protection there. Gives that old wall a little kiss and a hug. Gets put back around and gets sent on further. But one thing I haven't talked about all day long here is, and that really needs to be addressed, and I've even been told this before, but if you looked carefully at turn 4, you can see that there's a little bit of a difference in shape and turn there. A lot of drivers always said that turn 2 is kind of a trouble zone for them. But my personal experience, and for what I've heard as well, is that turn 4 can be a bit of a mess if you hit it just wrong or if you don't get it just right on that edge. What do I mean by that? Well, exactly, this is what it basically comes down to. When you're coming out, watch Tervaden here as he tries to stay in a certain area, a certain line. Usually there's 2 lines to hit, and that's the extreme high side or the low end of that turn. If you get it right in the middle, there's a little bit of a gap there, a little bit of a bump that kind of sets you for a ride there and kind of gets you a little loosey-goosey. And you saw that right there earlier with the 98. That's why these guys got to be so careful and so cautious. They're all fighting in their same spots, the same position here. Doing what they can to move the field on by and moving them on around here. Everyone's still in a hot pursuit. Here's Hupka getting a little bit wobbly out of that turn yet again. You can see him getting a little bit hinted at it. Right now trying to catch up to Harry Buger there in that 78 and that 58 machine. Everyone all in their zone on their run here, starting to field them on by and give them what they need and what they can here. Not a lot of side-by-side actions, not a lot of hard racing out there just yet. They kind of had it early. Kind of think we were kind of spoiled a little too quick and a little too soon. I think they were just trying to give us the appetizer. But right now, currently, the field is trying to save their tires up and not get in any more trouble. And pit strategy really playing into that. That's the thing, folks. That's the key. Is really making sure you got that strategy set up and just hit up just right. And we get to our final closing laps here. We'll have to take another quick commercial break here if a caution does not come out. But right now, back in the infield zone here, you got a little bit of a run here as Finn Robinson has now taken the race lead away. There from Dylan the closer, Hervatin here, so he will move the chains on in. The Englishman has taken over the lead and now fighting his way on in. And getting word right now also from our producers that he is a two-time defending World Racing Champion. And I have got to admit, that is pretty darn impressive. And I can see why he is challenging up these elite field of guys here tonight. This is some serious stuff and a half here on his end. Serious momentum and runs here from his end here. Still in the fight him on by Dylan the closer, Hervatin there out of turn 4. Remember what I said earlier about that turn? It can be a little tricky and get you sideways there when you least expect it. That just happened there on that corner zone, but managing to get it back on by here down around out of turn 1. He'll go side by side there for a moment with his fellow Conrads and racers here. The 7 machine there, John S. Buwalda trying to stay out of that zone. Hervatin into the wall at turn 2 though. Manages to save it. Whoa, keep it clear, keep it clear. Keeps it up and about, but Lawrence gets past him there. Oh man, big problems there for Hervatin. Hard to tell what went wrong or what happened there exactly, but that set him back completely for the 19-year-old. That's going to be a big struggle to get back underway. Tough break there for him. He just can't seem to catch a break whenever he's on PTM Racing TV for some reason. I never understood it. As Finn Robinson right now, currently, the lone Englishman has got the race leading by a solid margin at, but Christopher Al Lawrence maybe down by about 8 3/4 of a second, but that doesn't mean he's out of it just yet. Running them back on down here, back him on by here. John S. Buwalda now back underway here, fighting his position in as he's got the 21. But David Hall right in his back stretch here, kind of focusing him on in. I believe we've had David Hall on the show here before, but I do know we haven't had the Buwalda family here on the show, so it's great to have them on by, as well as TJ Roberts, currently off that hot start he had earlier. Right now just trying to survive and try to keep the car at bay here. Car is definitely struggling right now, and car is definitely having some issues here to kind of situate by and get things figured in. If you guys do like what you see and you're tuning in for the very first time, we do ask if you could like and follow us up here on Facebook. Head over to our Instagram and Twitter and go over there and have a little fun as well. I can promise you there will be a lot more racing and a lot more stuff to be had here in the coming weeks, in the coming future. We're not just doing a one and done with Backfire. Oh no, we got a lot more racing to go with them, and we cannot wait to show you what we've got in store for them. Some serious battles here. It really hasn't been anything too serious when it comes to the runs and a half. It's been more or less just who's going to be able to survive and who's going to be able to keep it going. But there has still been some good side-by-side battles here. As you see, John S. Buwalda still going out of here with the number 9 TJ Roberts. So I don't know, maybe Las Vegas has just kind of spoiled us a little too often with those early races we had. Maybe now it's finally starting to go back to dying down a little bit, just kind of laying off on us. It's mainly, it hasn't really been a track that we've noticed here on the show that has really just let these guys and gals just run them in as hard as they can and really give them the best racing that we've ever seen here in quite some time. But I can tell you right now though, Backfire is no joke, man. These guys are fast, they're tough, they're combatants. And right now, there are some solid drivers and a half here right now trying to showcase what they are capable of and what they are going to do out here in the coming weeks to follow here. As they work them on around still, it's Finn Robinson now just moving the chains on in, just passing folks left and right here. The 58 of Harry Buger another on the list here, Chris Hupka. Despite his hard running battles here earlier, right now he is starting to fall behind a little bit and starting to fall back into position. That will set them back here a little bit. Hupka goes to the outside line, lets Finn just open up the door and get him in there and let him by. And that will give him the run he's been looking for all day long and give him a chance. And you can see times-wise how far away they are from one another. And if you want to look at lap time as well, here is our lap time counter right now. Robertson and Lawrence. Well, let's just say Robinson right now is almost getting a second each lap on Lawrence. That is insane. I'm honestly trying to figure out how in the heck he's doing that kind of runs and doing that kind of last, but it seems to be working okay for Jones and Hupka. Currently, Hupka was catching him a little bit and starting to build him in, but Jones right now doing a pretty solid job kind of staying in that area and staying in that line of play. He's not out of it just yet here, folks. Still got a lot of time and ground to go here, and still a lot of stuff to go by here for this one. See on here the lap 90 there, the counter starting to really tick away here for some of these drivers, starting to push away there. As you see, of course, Durbin trying to hold him by here as he got the 27 machine of Brandon Mascarala, moving them on by, moving them back in here. And again, if I do mess up on your last name, folks, just message us down and we'll get it figured out. I do apologize in advance. Running them back on in now. Corey Saucier now starting to show his little moxie, starting to get some power under the hood. Got a little maple moxie in that machine tonight. He's definitely moving the field on by, running him in pretty hard. Christopher L. Lawrence, of course. Well, no introduction needed for this guy. He's been really running him hard all the times we've seen him out here. But we haven't seen him in a long time here. It's good to see him back out on the track and start to run with these guys again. A lot of folks from the very first broadcast series we ever did with eNASCAR Outlaw Series that we were wondering when we would meet them again and would see them out on the track, and it's great to see some folks back out here and having some good times as well. John Espualda right now, Jr. of course, moving the chains on in, starting to move them on by here. We're gonna go on board here with him and see how he's holding up his line, how his car is holding up. Solid runs and a half here from these drivers. Solid battling all the way through. And Jason Arbo, hold on. It looks like he's going to miss the cone there. Thank goodness there. We know how we are with cones around here on PTM Racing TV. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go watch any of the Fast and Fun guys, whether it be the Cup or Truck Series. I'm not explaining it here. Down around out of turn 1 and 2. Well, I might explain it later. But nevertheless, coming down out of turn 2 here down the back straightaway. They filled him on by here. Corey Saucier now starting to move the chains. He's now up into the 3rd spot here. Starting to really show up what he can go and trying to get something going here. He's about 4.7 away from Dylan LaCosa Hervatin. Trying to wield him in, trying to fight his way on by and trying to get something going here for him. As you see, Turbin right now currently just kind of getting in that trouble zone, trying to stay out of his way there, but can't quite do it there. Moving him on around down about yet again, out of turn 3, down to turn 4 here, side by side. Corey Saucier now moves into the end zone, trying to move him back here a little bit, give himself a run and a half here. Solid run and solid battles here between these guys. Solid running coming down the wire zone here. And Saucier is looking pretty strong, I would say. I think he's going to be a favorite coming to the top 3 zone. As the field will work him back in, yet into the zone here once again. Your top 5 was up on the leaderboards here for just a moment. But you can see right now a lot of the guys are currently put him in the park zone or getting him off onto the track yet again. Angel Santiago, one of those guys right now trying to catch up to Chris Hubka. Hubka is no slouch though when it comes to these heated races. He's on a track that very much resembles old home to him. He's on Don't Drag Me Texas Motor Speedway. Pretty solid racing here from that 5 Kellogg's machine. Currently in the 11th spot with the Angel Santiago kind of hunting him down, trying to chank him on here. We'll see if he's able to do just that later on, but right now, currently, well, the way things are loading in, the way things are feeling right now, Finn Robinson, Irvad, and Corey Saucier, your top 3 trying to stay in it, while John S. Buwalda Jr. right now trying to get some momentum back into the corner, and Christopher L. Lawrence looking to possibly revisit up to the top 3 into victory lane here tonight. We'll find out who will be able to take this one in the end, who will finish this one out. Will it be Robinson? Will it be Hervaden? Or will it be Buwalda? We'll find out later on. We've got quite a bit of racing to go, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Tonight's race, of course, being the Friends and Family 200 here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway at Las Vegas, Nevada. It has been brought to you in part by Kyle Sykes Designs, by Grid Finder, by AJ's Hotspot, by Splash and Go Graphics, by Blackgate Security Agency, by SimSnap.com, by The Butt Kicker, and by Jack Dowell Motorsports. And looks like we got something going down on the track zone here. We've actually got a problem. Yellow flag is out, folks. Yellow flag is out. While we were in the commercial break here, we had something go down there on the track here. Something gone wrong. It looks like James Jones there. James coming to a sudden standstill, sudden halt here. We'll have to go to the PTM Instant Replay to catch all about this one here. Hold on, folks. Let's head on down to the PTM Instant Replay and find out what happened here to James Jones there. We're on about, gets right into TJ Roberts there at turn 3 into 4 and gets kind of set on by a little bit. Nowhere to go and nowhere to play there. Absolutely not. He had so much trouble there in that corner and it set him up a little bit and set him in problem territory. Taking another look at it from another angle here. Let's see what happened here exactly here. Again, let's go back on by here and see what went down exactly. So it looks like the 55 just kind of drove in pretty aggressively here and just kind of took him for a ride. And then you can see TJ Roberts is kind of trying to hold his line, trying to stay out of that trouble zone. And oh boy, he got sent back way in the field there. And I'm not going as well as way he wanted it to. And TJ Roberts kind of put it into the infield and decides he's going to put it into not quite victory lane, but well, in a parkway, if you will. South break there for him right now. As the field will work him on by here and get things fixed back on around here. Under caution. With about 47 laps to go here. We'll go ahead and see if we can go ahead and bring some drivers in here and talk with them as we go here. Try to get some new names in here, of course. So as usual, let's go ahead and bring him on by. We have a new driver on the stage here. This is Jacob Tavern. I hope I'm saying, or Turvin, excuse me. I hope I'm saying your name right.
Yep, Jacob Turvin.
Alright, hey man, right now doing, so far it's been kind of an up and down road here tonight for you, but right now in this restart, you're in the 6th spot now, and we're working up from top 10 spots up. How you feeling, and how's that Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet holding up for you?
So far I'm doing all right. I'm just trying to survive, you know. Car's been getting pretty loose in the long run, so I'm trying to get some fresh tires and hopefully have a decent finish here.
For sure there, man. Well, we do appreciate you taking time to talk with us here, and thanks for ignoring my bad pronunciation of your last name for a second there. But nevertheless, car looks pretty sweet, and hope to catch you more out on the show here tonight, man.
Cool, thank you.
Absolutely. Jacob Turvin there. And that 71 machine, kind of load him up back into position here, getting into pit road. We tend to not bring guys in. We're in their pit road zone, so we had to try to cut that a little short there if anybody's curious. Finn Robinson, though, right now, man, talk about strong racing and a half here. Let's go ahead and take it on over to him. See how he's doing out there right now. All right, now joining me on in here, this is Finn Robinson. And Robinson, do you have the copy right now, bud?
I got you.
So far, man, looking pretty solid, looking pretty smooth there. I gotta ask you, what's been the key to success here that these guys just do not have for you?
Well, they're burning up their equipment quite easy. You'd seen on the opening laps, the 16 was battling with me quite hard, and I just let him go. He can have it. They're in my opinion, they're pushing too hard. I think smoothness is key around here. The track's really slick. You just got to look after your equipment and take it to the end.
There must have been a reason why you're a two-time former world champion here in the circuits, here in the racing. So far, so good. Looking pretty smooth here for you, Finn. Good luck, and hopefully we can see you back in victory lane here tonight.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Finn Robinson, the number 28 machine, taking the time to talk with us here, former world champion, as you've seen on the screen there. As the field will work them by here and get things fixed on in. Looks like we're going double filing up, so we're going to let the drivers do their work and do their talking instead of me talking. As we load them back up here, we're ready to go back to green flag racing here now onto the circuit here. The Friends and Family 200 circuit is back to underway here in just a minute at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We still got a few laps left to finish here, folks. Do not tune out. Do not go away. We're not done with this one just yet. Still a lot of racing to go here. Still a lot of battles here to come with it. And you know on here in PTM Racing TV, when we say that, we do know that quite well. Moving the field on by, moving the chains on down. There are some runs. There are some drivers looking to take over their positions, looking to take over this one here. Who will be the one to take this one on in, and who will be the one to come on by here? Working them on by here. Now as the green flag flies, we're back underway. We're going green flag racing. Field works them on in, down and about here in the corner zone here, starting to file them back up by here yet again. You heard Finn Robinson say just a minute ago that if they let them fight, they were going to cost themselves later. Hervad now goes to the outside line yet again, trying to see if maybe he can make it stick up there. This time around, though, you can see Finn is just sizing him up, just kind of letting him burn it up as much as he can. Dylan knows he's got to start being a little bit smart on the strategy. Track is going to slick up pretty bad on him, and he knows it right now. Down onto the front straightaway is Brandon Mascaralla. We have our high on right now in that 27 with Corey Saucier. Starting to move the chains on in, starting to clear the gap and clear up the zone, maybe trying to build him back in to catch up to him. Not a lot of areas messed up, and currently in fourth right now, you wasn't thinking John Espualda way back in the field there, as well as Christopher Lawrence. You wouldn't even think that either. So a lot of guys right now that are currently in spots you would not think they should be in. But folks, make no bones about it, they are right now, and currently David Hall in that 21. I guess he didn't listen to the word of advice there from Finn, because he just wants to fight his way on in and start to challenge them on by. Down in the corner zone here, fighting him on through once again. Dylan the closer, Hervaden in that 16 Smith field machine is absolutely laying into it, laying on by, trying to give it what he can to hang him in there and try to stay in that zone there with Finn. This is your battle for the lead here, folks. Working him in hard, running him in down, and Hervad, man, you just can't give a kid credit where credit's due. He's trying to fight off Finn, but the problem is Robinson's just defending off his line and blocking him more times than I care to count. He's blocking in more than more times than I get rejected from a girl on Valentine's Day, or much less with any of my old exes. Now that I say that on screen, I'm probably going to get yelled at for that one. Oh, my bad. Nevertheless, though, down in the front straightaway, Finn Robinson has got the race lead there. The Chevrolet still putting the boot to the Ford Mustang. Smithfield, number 16 of Dylan, the closer, Hervat. He hasn't gave up just yet, though. He's been fighting hard for this one. Working him on by, a little bit of an internet issue there for old Hervat, and we'll see if that comes back to haunt him later. Doesn't look like it's going to just yet, though. As you see, Angel Santiago having to go to work here. Chris Hupka right now currently moving them on back behind him here, starting to field them on down. Solid race and a half here from these drivers, and solid battles all the way through, not giving an inch here to one another as they fight them on back here on the back straightaway, still side by side. Now they'll take it down around into the corner zone. Looking for the run, looking for the position now yet again. Hupka makes the move, makes it stick, and gets around Santiago. Santiago will have to try to fight back. The 69 there, Bud Barnes, the second there in the Chevrolet, starting to wheel and deal him in. The 98 machine there, Jeremy Richmond, starting to go a little bit into that corner zone as well, starting to really hang tight, hang with them. Side by side, they take it down out of turn 2. Solid runs and a half here from these guys. Joey Wright in the 8 machine falling way behind the field, starting to fall back in the pack zone here once again. Having all sorts of problems getting that momentum there. Speaking of considering a little bit of struggles here, I think by that broadcaster curse might have come back to haunt us again, because I think Jacob Turbin having a little bit of problems there on the outside line, trying to hang him on by, but Chris Hupka has been fighting him in a little bit, giving him some solid runs. They're still side by side and at each other down around the corner zones once again here. Ben Robinson, as you got the onboard camera here, currently dealing with the 16 still, Dylan the Koza Hervat, as the final lap starting to kick in here. Just over 35 laps left to go here when they come on by here in that zone. Once again, the 47 machine there, Chris Buwalda right now leading the field and wheeling them back by in the back zone here, currently in the top 5 zone, top 6 in this case. The boys, he's still giving himself a fight and a half here, still hanging on with him. Saucier right now in the 24 moves the chains on by around John Buwalda Sr. Currently the old boy trying to hang in there and trying to stay in that zone there. But his son John S. Buwalda Jr. currently, I believe that's his son anyway. I could be very, very wrong, and if I am, please let me know. Right now currently in the 4th spot, still fighting it into the zone, and now Dylan the Koza Hervat finally putting the boot there to Finn Robinson. Robinson was holding off pretty well there, but you can see him just kind of toying with him as well here. They're still side by side here for the back zone. I think Finn's going to have to start fighting a little bit here. So much at stake and so much going down around here right now. Finn Robinson, though, just absolutely hanging in there. It's just giving it what it's worth and staying onto that zone. Really putting the boots in the back zone here as well. These guys giving it what it's worth here. 24, Corey Saucier still on his run and on his gain here, fighting him on by down the front straightaway, trying to catch back up to the 27 of Brandon Muscarella. He's been in a pretty solid state here all day long, really fighting him in, running as hard as he can right now. For those that are still tuned in with us right now, thank you so much for tuning on into the show, and I promise you next time you see us, we'll be a little bit more prepared on the intro, I can promise you that much. But right now, David Hall in that 21 machine trying to gain some ground up. He's got Ryan Sizemore there in the 23 machine. The 21 and David Hall right now doing everything he can to kind of kick him up by and get him self-centered up here. Brian William Wiggins now joins us in as well here. What's up, PTM? Brian, good to have you back on the show here, back down the corner. Kind of hanging on by right now down on the front straightaway here. John S. Buwalda right now fighting in there with the 8 machine there of Joey Wright. Joey Wright goes to the outside line looking in. The Krispy Kreme donuts looking to serve up something sweet and serve it up to junior here. John S. kind of staying in that zone, staying on that run there. Running that back him on by and still hanging him down the corner zone. Jordan Stencil had some problems there on that front straightaway. Goes into the infield, opened up his own lawn care service, and now has to try to back centered up here. As the 5 of Chris Hupka just makes a big move around there, passing him on the area again here. Solid runs here from these guys and solid battles all the way through today. You can tell by the blip view here that these guys have just been tired out, and the tires are just giving it everything they can. It's really burning up down there. Now around once again here, you've got a battle here as Hupka tries to move around Jacob Turbin. Turbin has to give up a spot and give up his chance here to run him down there with the 5, but Hupka not out of his sights just yet. You can see how far away he is from him. Trying to hold pace, trying to hold steady heading here as they fight him on around down that T-shaped front straightaway. See how high those corner bankings are and how these turns are set up. It can just be an absolute nightmare sometimes to really keep up with the momentum and keep the pace on in when you least expect it here. Christopher Lawrence there in that 20 now, moving the chains on by, trying to stay if he can catch up to Dylan. The closer Herbatin is about 29 seconds away from him here. And as you look at the pit strategy here, you gotta think right now you're looking at a pattern or something, or you're trying to figure out why the heck are these squiggly lines here. But colors wise, if you look at how far each one has been in pit road, that's due to the caution. And since then, it's been kind of just, well, we'll save it up for later and try to see what we can get with going now. That seems to have been their strategy all day long here. And Finn Robinson knows that all too well. He has just been taking these guys to the cleaners here all day long. Dylan the closer, Herbatin is fighting for everything he's got, almost like an underdog. Which, if you know Herbatin around here, he ain't no underdog. He's a heck of a racer when he needs to be in a battle and a half when he needs to show. Riley Ackerman now joins us in as well, rooting out for the 71 machine. The 71 tonight being driven, of course, by Jacob Turbin. Was fighting in pretty hard there with that 5 there of Upkey. But it is great to have you on board, Mr. Bradley. Hope you enjoy what you see so far. Solid run, solid battles here. Corey Saucier now moving to the inside zone, starting to make a bit of a run here as Brandon Muscarella gets into the outside wall protection there. Got all of his momentum lost into a 3 wide slip there. They bring him back out. Will they be able to hold it this time? Ooh, Corey has to back off, stay out of that trouble zone. He knew it was coming there. Now in the 98 of Jeremy Richmond. A little bit of sideways momentum there at turn 4. He was in that metal protection and he got loose off that loosey-goosey there. Remember what we said earlier about that turn? You got to be careful about it. You've got to stay off that zone and stay out of that, stay on the rhythm area. Right now they are fighting in for all they've got and staying everything they can here. Solid runs and a half here from these guys, but you know, I gotta wonder, you know, how long will it take before these cars start to really lose ground and momentum each time around here? It has just been hard stuff to really master and hard things to really run by here. Still everyone in a hot pursuit here, in a hot battle here. Ryan Sizemore there in that 23. I believe rocking a little bit of a scheme there, tribute to old Dale Earnhardt Jr. The Ayers Racing Paints 93 machine looking the outside, looking in as he now has the 98 there, Jeremy Richmond. Right into the line of sight here. The only thing is there is Richmond is currently a lap down from him. Everybody in a hot pursuit here. The laps are starting to wind down here, and we're kind of winding down ourselves right now. Currently with only 18 laps to go. There is definitely no gimmies around here, and Dylan, the closer of that, knows all about that right now. And the old internet issues on her bad kind of coming back to haunt him there, kind of giving us a little bit of a headache there. The producer's not too happy with me on that. Well, for the record, producers, you're the ones that are controlling it, so for all I care, you can go ahead and, you know, you can do what you always tell you. Anyway, back to the field here. Corey Saucier still doing what he needs to do here to try to stay in that zone. He's in the top 6 area. Looking to get up to Brandon Mascarella here, which you see him coming down out of turn 2 here. He's about a half a turn away from losing that spot up, and Corey can catch up to him here. Field works him on by. Everyone's still in a hot pursuit here, in a hot battle here. Laps are winding down here. Time's starting to go away here for them. And they know all too well what's coming and what's been going down right now. They're still trying to hide this momentum, trying to stay in that run here. Running on back, come on by here. Still a lot of runs and a half here coming, but Finn Robinson just, I don't know what it is, man. There is definitely a reason why he's a former world champion. Just absolutely killing it out here tonight. Holy smokes. But there's still a lot of hot battles around here. Hupke is trying to catch himself back in this one, trying to give himself a little bit of a run. Hupke, not Hupke, excuse me. Chris Hupke right now doing what he needs to stay in that zone. If I said Hupke for a few times, I do apologize, Chris. Right back him on by John Espuelda Jr. Still doing what he can here to try to get some momentum back around, but Christopher L. Lawrence currently, he's a good margin there. He's a good spot or two up ahead of him by about 15.5 seconds. Catching him right now might be easier said than done at this point for those two drivers, but currently not unfeasible, not unlikely, of course. So we'll see how well it plays out here as laps are starting to wind down. Final 12 to go here. It's been battles, it's been mayhem, it's been chaos on the start. The later half kind of started to spread off. People started to really run their lines in and into their zones, but I can definitely tell you right now that's definitely not the case all the way through for some of them here. They are all doing what they can here to come on by and try to stay in that zone in the run. Still time elapsing, time to go here for the drivers. Still everyone giving it what they can, trying to hang him on by. Joey right there in the 8. You see having to go into pit road. Something not going right for him here. The tires might have burnt up a hint too fast, or he might have lost all his fuel run there. Nonetheless, they'll send him back. Chris Hupka and the Kellogg's 5 machine trying to desperately catch up to Jason Arbel. With about 3 seconds ahead here in the 86 machine. The Exalta Chevrolet doing what he can to kind of stay in that run and that build up. John Buwalda currently is also right into the zone as well, but he's ahead. Almost by a full lap if he gets lap back again here for Arbel. Arbel trying not to let that happen, trying to fight him off here down out of turn 2, down the back straightaway. Solid runs coming through here for these drivers and solid battles all the way down the zone, but there's just some guys that just completely have lapped and passed people like left and right like it's nothing out here tonight. It's crazy to say the least here, and it's amazing how hard they have to run their way in to even get to this point, but it's definitely been something. And Arbel will have to put it into pit road here and try to get things figured in for the next time, because he's going to have a little bit too less tires on there and they're burned up a little bit too hard. Hupka falling up into the head zone now, trying to get some serious momentum back his way here, but he's going to be a lap down still. Even the only way I think he would have any chance to take home the race win is all of a sudden if Tom Hardy walked into my studio right now. That's kind of the problem, I would say, for him on his end, but he's still giving it all he's got. As you see right here, your top 5 here in total. Don S. Buwalda Jr. right now currently in that third spot with Dylan Nichols or Hervatin. Still desperately trying to cling back up here and trying to catch back up to Finn Robinson, with actually the laps coming back here. Looks like Hervatin's actually kind of got a little smarter here. Robinson has actually lost a little bit of momentum and a little bit of time here. This could get interesting here, folks. Actually, Hervatin has caught back up to the race leader. Robinson's not out of the woods yet. His strategy might have worked early on, but right now, currently, if you look at lap time here, you might see a little bit of a seismic difference. Hervatin started to pull a full throttle assault there from lap, I believe it was 138, 137, and went over to 142, but now, as they get into lap 144, and now let's see what happens on lap 45. Robinson is kind of staying in that zone away from him here. 5 laps to go. Hervatin once again loses time and ground there. Not the lap he wanted there for himself. Robinson is looking pretty strong, but the draft is definitely in reach of Robinson for Hervatin. If he can catch him here, he might have something coming for him. The Friends and Family 200 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway is about to come to a close, but is there enough momentum left in there for Robinson to stay ahead of Hervatin? Can Hervatin finally start to push his way into the zone? Hervatin's doing everything he can, but you can see that car just getting a slightly bit loose there on those corners, on those exits. It's really starting to mess up his run, mess up his zone. Laps winding down here. Hervatin's doing everything he can, try to catch a draft here. Robinson is just kind of staying in his target, staying in his zone, just running him in the best way he knows how to. Folks, we're coming down to the final laps here. Robinson just needs to stay out of trouble and stay off that zone that Hervatin is right now, because Hervatin is still not out of it just yet. Serious runs and a half here from these drivers, and serious battles all the way through. There has not been a single one given up here And the laps are definitely showing it. They're definitely coming into play here for everyone here. Hard to really say who's going to really gain the ground and gain the momentum here when they need to most. Back them on by here, 2 to go. Green flag flies high in the air. We're coming to the white flag now, down on turn 4 this time by. And Hervaden is now finally initiating one last full throttle assault here on to the Robinson. White flag comes out here. The 28 just needs to just give a little bit more momentum, stay in the zone. Hervaden's right there with him. Hervaden now tries to go straight down the bottom. He's going to try to get as much momentum and power off those corners and turn them off as hard as he can. He's starting to get a little bit of ground there. Built back up and around the back straightaway. Finn Robinson's going to try to hold him off. Coming down to turn 3 into turn 4. I don't think it's going to be enough for Hervaden. Ladies and gentlemen, the friends and family 200 winner is going to be Finn Robinson. And it couldn't have gone to a driver, in my opinion, that did not show the most style and profile and kind of racing I've seen here in quite a while. There's a reason why he's a 2-time defending champion. He has won over the fans and definitely won over a few drivers here tonight. Finn Robinson takes it to the cleaner, takes it to the end. He is your friends and family 200 race winner here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. What a race. Solid battles all the way through as the field now comes around. We're getting word right now we can finally show the race results. Here it is, folks. Our final results are now in. Robinson takes it on home. Second to going to Dylan the Closer Hervaden. Third to John S. Buwalda. Fourth to Brandon Muscarella. Fifth to Christopher L. Lawrence. Sixth to John Buwalda. Seventh to Jacob Turvin. Eighth to Chris Hubka. Ninth, Corey Saucier. 10th to Angel Santiago, 11th to David Hall, 12th to Harry Vuger, 13th to Jordan Stenzel, 14th to Jason Arbel, 15th to Ryan Sizemore, 16th to Joey Wright, 17th to Jeremy Richmond, and 18th to Harold Barnes to round out your top 18 guys here tonight. And now I think it's a better time than anything to go ahead and have a little word here with our drivers. The top 3 will talk with us here in just a moment. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be right back with you. I'm heading down to Victory Lane. All right, now down here in pit road here currently. This is your third place finisher here tonight, John S. Buwalda. I hope I'm saying your last name right, but your third place finisher here tonight, man. A solid run, solid battle all the way through. You had a lot of work to do there, man.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
So,
thanks.
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, man, you had to do so much work and all that. I mean, really, what was keeping the car underneath you to really get all that power and stabilize up for tonight?
Tire management. I take it easy in the beginning, and the other guys slow down, and I maintain my lap times, and they come to me. So I get lucky that way.
For sure there. Well, I guess you got a little bit of luck every now and then to go with your skill, and I would definitely say the skill was definitely there. So I got to ask you, man, who do you want to thank you for this finisher tonight?
Well, all my teammates, for one. Finn Robinson, Brandon Marcella, Harry Vogue, everybody. And Jack Dale Motorsports. As a team, Jack Dale, we race together and we practice together. And it's just a great thing we have going on.
For sure there. It's been a solid race and a solid battle all the way through. We appreciate you coming on by and taking us on down here tonight. Hope to see you next week here as we get things fixed on in. The season's opener's coming soon here for BackFire Sim Racing. You ready for it, man?
Yes, I am. The Jack Dale 250 at Daytona on February 19th. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to talk with us here. Congratulations on your third place finish here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. John S. Buwalda Jr., you're a third place finisher here tonight. A solid run and a half here for him and a solid battle all the way through. now I got to head on down here and talk with the closer, Dylan Hervatin here, and I'm going to say right now probably nobody a little happier and more excited than him on this case, but we'll see here in a minute because you never be too sure with him around here. Well, looks like he actually has left the building, it looks like. I'm not sure where he went. Looks like he ran off from us here. Oh, no, wait, hold on a minute, never mind. Apparently he likes to hide from us. Alright, now joining me in here is your second place finisher here tonight, Dylan, the closer, Hervatin. And Hervatin, nothing to sneeze at, man. That was just a finish and a half for that, trying to take down a defending world champion.
Yeah, made a lot of mistakes throughout the race, and I was really disappointed. I started getting frustrated with myself a little bit for making so many mistakes, but you know, we're the closer, and we were able to come back and grab second place with that caution. We played the pit strategy perfect. I mean, I was like saying, I'm just going to stay out as long as I can and hope for a yellow, and I was about to come in and pit the lap of the yellow, and I actually was coasting into my pit stall out of fuel. So that caution came out, tried to stay behind him and save tires, and he pulled away a little bit. And I stayed back and kept saving, tried to reel him back in at the end, and we almost got there, but just wasn't enough to seal the deal. And, you know, I could have moved him out of the way, but, you know, that's no fun when you're in the lead and you get moved. And I know I understand how it feels, and I want to be respected in that sense. So, you know, I'll take second. You know, I can't be upset with that. I've never raced with these guys before, and to come out and have a race like this, bring it home in second, it's not bad at all. So.
Definitely not bad at all. You have a lot of stuff at your heart and a lot of pride in your racing. I know I've always catch you coming on here on the show and seen you in general off the track as well. Definitely, I know there's a lot of pride in you that wants to try to take it on home with these guys and give it everything you got. And you definitely gave it all you had here tonight. Just came up a little short. Nothing to sneeze at, though, with that former champion taking him down. But nevertheless, Dylan, I got to ask you, man, what do you want to thank for this second place finish here tonight?
Oh, well, I mean, you know, I just got to thank, you know, the people from Flyby. I mean, you know, they've really been the reason why I've gotten so much better with my racing. And they've, you know, people like Aiden Kirker and Mason Thompson, who drive for my team, have come on and just taught me so much in the off season and Flyby. And, you know, we almost won the Daytona 500 last weekend, and, you know, came up short in that, coming up short again. But, you know, every time you come up short, you can't come up short forever. There's got to be a time where you seal the deal, and hopefully we'll be able to do that soon. And, you know, I like to thank my mom and everybody who comes out and watches these races. And, you know, I know that she's out there and trying to get me some sponsors, and we've actually been pretty successful. So I'll have a couple new sneak peek and new surprises on the car in the upcoming races. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
For sure there, man. Well, we always appreciate coming on by and seeing you on the show. Congratulations on your second place finish here tonight, Dylan. Set for quite a run there, to say the least here, bud.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. And, you know, thanks for coming out and doing this too. You know, me and you have been pretty close with all the leagues that I run in that you interview me in. You know, I've kind of almost made it, if PTM's not broadcasting it, I don't race in it. So it's kind of gotten to that point. So, but no, I appreciate you coming out and doing this. And, you know, hopefully we can be in victory lane one of these days talking to you instead of finishing second or third.
I think it's only coming sooner or later, man. I think it's just going to take some time to get there. But nevertheless, thanks again for tuning on in, bud. And I'll catch you up here later on, bud.
Yep, thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, your second place finisher here tonight, Dylan the closer, Hervatin. And now, folks, we're going to head on down to victory lane where we will meet with the 28 here of Finn Robinson, your first place finisher here tonight. And Finn, whoo boy, I know what you said a minute ago to me, in that you were saying he was having to fight you off and try to stay on the line. He's burning stuff up because you were running smoother. But you gotta give credit where credit's due. He came back at you pretty good, but you held him off. Well done there, sir.
Yeah, I mean, he decided to save a lot before I decided to save. It was only about 15 laps to go. I realised I was actually going to run up a bit short on fuel. I was not sure why he backed off at all, but that explains why he did now. Of course, he's a great driver, but I mean, he just couldn't quite seal the deal, unfortunately.
For sure there. Now, I gotta ask you, man, this is your first time ever on the show, and first time we've ever seen you out here. How much years of experience do you have in these cars, and how much experience do you have just with these kind of tracks? Because you just made this look really easy out there for the way you were running.
Well, for 6 years, I've been racing in real life. I've been sim racing now for coming up on 3 years, I presume. I race ovals in real life, so it comes naturally to me to do well in an oval. That's where I put it all down to. My dad and my race team in real life really pushing me to the max and taking in as much as I can.
For sure there. Well, they definitely have done enough to get you guys through and through all the way through this season. And I can definitely say, first time seeing you, quite impressed with your runs in your series. And hey, you're taking a trip down to Victory Lane here as the winner of the Friends and Family 200. So I got to ask you, man, who do you want to thank you for this finish?
I've got to mainly thank you, John at Jack Dale Motorsports. At my team, Jack Dale Motorsports, we put together an awesome show behind the scenes. We worked so hard to make this happen. All the driver development team, putting in the effort, trying to improve themselves. We're working really hard behind the scenes and to pick up a win to show off this hard work. I can't thank that enough. Got to thank Shebden Crane Hire, my dad's company. He's put a lot of money into my sim racing, and I'm happy to get that win for him to show off. We've got Glenn's Transport and Move, one of our main sponsors here, and Mercury Energy as well. Pushing us and supporting our efforts to get this thing to Victory Lane.
It did indeed, my friend. It got you to Victory Lane as you wanted, expecting it to, and a hard, long road to get there and a hard, long battle to go through. But hey, still, all ends out working out just fine. You are the race winner here tonight in the Friends and Family 200. Finn, congratulations on that, and we'll hope to see you next time soon enough, bud.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, the winner here tonight, Finn Robinson, the 28 machine, your race victor here tonight, and that's gonna really wrap it up here tonight. Your first showcase for the BackFire Sim Racing Series. Of course, this was the Friends and Family 200 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Great showing for these guys and gals here tonight. Great stuff. We can't wait to catch more of it as time goes on. Season opener is just upon us here, and we're coming up on it, so be sure to stay tuned by liking and following us up here on Facebook. Or if you don't have Facebook, tell your friends to go over to YouTube and subscribe there, where we'll have this race in its entirety coming up very shortly. It'll be up by about tomorrow afternoon, I would say. It's been a little late here. We got to get ready for our normal job, so I wish broadcasting was my full-time job, but it's not. Sorry, guys. But nevertheless, here are the big thank you to Kyle Sykes Designs, to Grid Finder, to AJ's Hotspot, to Splash and Go Graphics, to Blackgate Security Agency, to SimSnap.com, iRacing Photography, to the Butt Kicker Company, and to Jack Dowell Motorsports, BackFire Sim Racing, and all of us here at PTM Racing TV. We'd like to thank you for helping these guys and gals get everything situated on in and have a little bit of fun on the track. Without you, they wouldn't be able to do what they do. So from all of us here at PTM Racing TV, thank you again for tuning on in. We appreciate you guys, and we love you all. For now, though, be safe. God bless. Take care. We love you guys. We'll see you next time when the green flag flies right here on PTM Racing TV. Thank you again.